Chapter 8, the genitive case. Now, what is a genitive case? The genitive case indicates possession or relationship. So, let's explain that. I'm going to start with proper nouns. Now, when we use a genitive case in English, like Peter's house, we use an apostrophe and an S. Yeah, that's how we can tell the genitive case in English. So it explains possession because it's Peter's house, he owns it. If we are talking about Washington subway, the same thing. Washington and Peter are proper nouns. Again, we have an apostrophe S, and that's how we can tell that it is the genitive case. Now, what do we do in German when we have proper nouns? Peter's house in English, apostrophe S. Peter's house in German. Again, we have the S denoting the genitive, but we have no apostrophe in German. And the same goes for Washington subway, apostrophe S in English, but no apostrophe in German. Washington's U-Bahn. All right, now these were the proper nouns. So again, when you have a proper noun, you just add an S to it. And that makes it genitive and expresses possession. Washington owns the subway. Peter owns the house. Now, when we use regular nouns, it gets a little more complicated. We have two ways of saying the genitive in English. We could say the father's car. See the apostrophe S here? The father's car, it's his car, right? Or we can say the car of the father. And that's what we have to do in German when we express the genitive. We have to rephrase the original English and we have to say the car of the father. And the phrase of the denotes possession or genitive case. Now, what happens when we do that? You know Vater is a der word, right? Right. Now let's see what happens when we put it in the genitive. Of the becomes one word in German. The der changes to des. So der goes to des. And the S again denotes genitive. Now let's look what father is doing. Des Vater, and father also gets an S. So the article changes to des, and Vater adds an S too. So we have twice we have an S in the words genitive. And if we say of my father, then mine would just change to meines Vaters, and it would add the ES. All right. Now let's look at the second example. So the first one was a masculine noun. The second one is a feminine noun. The mother's dress, we have to rephrase it. Again, you see mother's, apostrophe S. The mother owns the dress, it's hers. We have to say the dress of the mother. Again, we have to stick in the phrase of the. All right, now let's look what happens to this one. We know mother is a D word, right? Die Mutter. Das Kleid der Mutter. Now, what happens? The D changed to der. Mutter adds nothing. I always say it's a feminine noun. Females are perfect, so they don't need any addition to anything. So maybe that's how you can remember it. So D changes to der, and it means of the.